Morning, students. So in the last class we good morning, students. In the last class we discussed the real-time operating system and the differences between the hard real-time operating system and the soft real-time operating system, right? And we started with the third type of class of operating system, which is distributed operating system. The main aim of the distributed operating system is resource sharing, right? So as I already discussed, the motivation or the main aim of a distributed operating system is resource sharing, because we in case of a distributed operating system, multiple number of computers are connected through an internet, right? So whenever one of the computer fails to execute one of the process, then that process can be given to other computer to execute. And even resources which are associated with a single computer system, if they are busy, then we can request, or user can request the other computer system to allocate the resources to his process or program, right? So that was the main aim of distributed operating system, right? Next, a distributed operating system provides reliability through redundancy of computer systems. Redundant means extra, right? Surplus, you can say. Extra computer systems can be connected, because we are connecting multiple number of you can take 10, 100 or 1,000 millions of computer systems through an internet, right? So whenever one computer system fails to execute one of the process, then user can request the other computer system to execute his program or process, right? So we are maintaining, in distributed operating system, we are maintaining the extra computer systems, right? So which can increase the reliability of the user programs or user processes, right? Or user requests in general, you can say, right? And we can have extra number of resources and the communication. So in case of distributed operating system, the computer systems different resources, you can say memories, disks, and CPUs, right? And there are multiple or extra number of communication paths, due to which the reliability of the system will be increased, right? So what do you mean by reliability? How system is reliable? That means whenever something fails, how the operating system is going to cope up with that fail, right? So how it overcomes that fail, right? So in case of distributed operating system, the operating system will overcome that problem by requesting, or uh, by giving a provision of an extra operating system who is running in some other computer system, right? So let us say, what are the benefits of a distributed operating system? The first benefit is resource sharing, right? So resources can be utilized across the boundaries of individual computer systems, right? So even one of the computer system fails to allocate the resources, then user programs can request the other computer systems for the requested resources. Next, reliability. As I already discussed, reliability, because distributed operating system is going to provide extra number of resources, due to which the reliability of the system is going to increase. The OS continues to function even when computer systems or resources in it fail, because there are multiple resources associated with the different computer systems, right? So one OS execute continues to function even when it fails to even when a computer system or a resource in it fail, right? Next, the third one, computation speed up of the computation processes, user processes. The execution of user processes are going to be speed up, because none of the process is going to wait for resources, right? So one or the other computer systems will be having extra number of resources, and those resources will be allocated to user processes without any delay, right? So because of that, the processes are going to be executed in very fast manner, right? So processes of an application can be executed in a different computer system to speed up its completion. Even if the process is big, and that bigger process can be divided into number of sub processes, and those sub processes are given to a different multiple computer systems, and the entire process can be run in the form of sub processes parallelly, right? So due to which the computation speed up will also increase, right? Next, the last benefit is communication. Users can communicate among themselves irrespective of their locations in the system, because in a distributed operating system all users are connected through an internet, right? So one user sitting in India can communicate with a user sitting in China or America, right? So even multiple communication because of multiple communication paths, communication is also going to happen through computer system, right? So this facilities will not be provided by any of the other operating system, right? So these are the benefits of a distributed operating system, and the definition or the motivation of distributed operating system. Okay, so moving to the next slide, what we are going to see here, we are going to see the key concepts and techniques used in a distributed operating system. What are the key concepts and the techniques, how they are going to be achieved? So those are the main aim of the distributed system, right? The first key concept is distributed control, right? The first key concept is distributed control. The first one is distributed control, because I already discussed what is a centralized system and a distributed system. In centralized system, everything is every operation is performed by a centralized system, right? It might be running of a processes, it might be a location of resources, right? And the communication between different computers, right, which are connected through an internet. These all operations will be handled by a centralized server or a centralized system, you can say, right? So what was the main drawback of that centralized system? If that centralized process or a server, you can say, if it goes down, that means if it fails, then entire communication will be halted, right? So even resource cannot be allocated to one user cannot communicate with any other user, right? So these all things will happen in case of centralized system. But this is not the problem with distributed operating system, because all the resources will be distributed throughout the entire network geography. Then whenever user requests for certain resources, if one computer fails to execute or allocate the resources to the users, then other computer can execute or allocate resources to those users, right? So that is the main key concept of a distributed operating system, which is distributed control. A control function is performed through a participation of several nodes, possibly all nodes in a distributed system, right? So we don't have a centralized system like this, right? Let us say this is a centralized system, right, through to which different computers are connected. Let us say computer 1, computer 2, right, computer 3, and computer 4, right? So if all these computers are connected through centralized system, and this centralized system is going to control all these computers, right? So whatever communication is going to happen between these four computers, that has to be happen through the centralized system. Suppose this centralized system fails, then what happens? None of the computer can communicate with themselves, right? So this is the main drawback of a centralized system. But in case of distributed system, there is no concept of centralized system, right? So directly this computer 1 can communicate with a user sitting with computer 2, right? So